Team, are you able to resume? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. 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 Thank you. Devika, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Devika, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So Devika, can I know what is your background?
Yeah, presently I have a long gap, so I want to start to go to office. So I started working previously before marriage, or once the marriage done, so I stopped working. No, I want to work now BI, so I want to check first this class.
Got it. Got it. Thanks, Devika, for briefing. Okay. Aishwarya, can you just brief me about yourself for a second? Okay. Sheikh, can you just explain me about yourself in a moment? Sheikh, you are in mute mode. Sandeep, can you just brief me about yourself?
Yes, this is Sandeep. I have 2 years experience in IT. I'm currently working in an organization. I'm working in like data analytics domain. I hope this Oracle and PLSQL domain and this course will upskill my. That's it.
Okay. So you are already into information technology, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Arun, can you brief me about yourself, Arun? Arun, Anil, can you just explain me about yourself, Anil? Kalpana, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you just introduce yourself? Kalpana, you are on mute.
Yes, sir. This is M. Kalpana. I'm studying BTech final year, sir.
Okay, very good, Kalpana. So which college are you studying, Kalpana?
From Madanapalli Aditya Engineering College, sir.
Okay, very good, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Snehalata. Snehalata, can you just introduce yourself?
Hello.
Yes, we are able to hear you, Ma. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. My name is Sneha. I have 4 years experience in non-IT.
Okay.
Now I want to move IT side.
Okay. Okay. In which domain are you engaged, Ma?
Sorry, sir.
Which domain you are working?
No, I'm not not working.
Okay. So you told you are in non-IT, right?
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Madhusudan, can you just introduce?
Hello.
Yeah, Madhusudan, please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Madhusudan. I'm basically from Pune, and I'm currently working. I have around 8 years of experience in as a in data field, and I want to. I till now I worked on some Hadoop technology and all. but I want to learn something new on PLSQL side, like store procedure and function and triggers. These kind of things I was not means I can't able to write by myself. So that's why I'm looking something new in this course.
Okay, thanks, Madhusudan. Thanks for the
Yeah.
introduction.
Yeah.
Megan, Megan Reddy, can you just introduce yourself?
Hi, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, actually, I am now studying in BTech second year
okay,
in Vidyaniketan, Tirupati.
okay,
Yes, sir. So I'm interested in SQL, so I have joined here.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Very good, Amma. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And Padma, can you just introduce yourself?
Hello. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, you're loud and clear, Padma. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, I have been working as a Power BI developer. So I'm
Okay.
aware of SQL concepts. I mean, MS SQL.
Okay.
Okay, so if I learn this Oracle SQL, would it help me in future? Because I want to become as a Azure data engineer.
Okay. Cool.
Can
Thanks.
you please, guide me here.
That's fine, Amma.
Sure.
Prashanti, can you just introduce yourself?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. This is Prashanti. So, and I have a experience, 4 years of experience in non-IT. So I am also trying for the IT side. So that is why I'm trying this, and I have some basics knowledge on MS SQL. So I would like to know this PLSQL and Oracle SQL as well. So that's it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Nikhil, just can you introduce yourself, Nikhil? Nikhil?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, Nikhil.
Yeah, hi, sir. Good evening. So my name is Nikhil. So I am working as an IT profession in 1 year. So I just wanted to learn how the Oracle SQL and PLSQL works. So I hope this session would give us a good bit clarity about more clarity about Oracle SQL and PLSQL.
Okay. Thanks. Narendra, can you just introduce yourself? Narendra, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Narendra. Now I am working in non-IT side, and I want to.
Okay. Okay, that is good. Fine. So I got introduction from people. So let me talk to Rita once. Okay, Rita, just introduce yourself. Others can mute. Okay, Meghna and others can mute if you're not talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rita.
Oh, hi. Hey guys, this is Reader. Cybersecurity, and someone just introduced me this platform, so I would like to get more knowledge of DBA and also get SQL. So that's what I'm here. So nice to meet everybody.
Okay, thank you. So, Samineni Madhu, can you just introduce yourself? Madhu? Ravia, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Shravya. Actually, I used to work in non-IT 2 years back. So I am interested to learn SQL now.
Oh, very good. So
Yes.
in the interest of time, okay, I will give you an overview of what it is, okay, and how things will proceed.
Okay.
I request all of you to be on mute, okay. If somebody has not put yourself on mute, everyone to be on mute, okay. And if you have any questions or any clarifications needed, feel free to ping me, okay. Feel free to ping me, or you can unmute yourself and talk, okay. So first of all, okay, I would like to introduce what is a database to you. Then probably as a next step, we can discuss about a couple of other things. So the way we have different car brands, like you have Suzuki, you have BMW, you have Hyundai, you have Ambassador. Okay, there are different car brands which are available in the market. The same way we have different databases also. So Oracle Corporation has its own database, which is called as Oracle database. Microsoft has their own database. Microsoft calls themselves as MS SQL database. So SQL Server or MS SQL is both one and the same. IBM has their own database. They call it as DB2. In the same way, there are multiple open source databases like you have Postgres database, you have MySQL database, and many other databases are there. So these databases, they store conventional data like your employee name, employee number, salary, jobs, descriptions, and all these things will be saved in your conventional databases. If at all you want to save a non-conventional data, when I say non-conventional data, the chats that you are using in your Facebook, the chats that you are using in your WhatsApp, okay, all these come under non-conventional data. So if at all you want to use non-conventional, if at all you want to save non-conventional data, then you have databases called as NoSQL databases, no SQL. Okay, so examples of no SQL databases are your MongoDB, Cassandra, and all these fall under your NoSQL databases. So you have two types of data. One is called as conventional data, which is a simple and straightforward data. And this data gets saved in something called as conventional RDBMS. And you have unconventional data, which gets saved in your NoSQL databases. So these NoSQL databases are generally called as big data databases, big data. So all unconventional data that we are saving, maybe it is a Facebook data or WhatsApp data or whatever it is coming under a category of unconventional data, and we call that in general as big data. Big data. So our scope is now to discuss mostly on conventional data, So Oracle as an organization and as a database, 77. Way back in 99, Oracle started, and it kept on evolving. Currently, we have 21C of database which is available in market. 21C is a cloud version. Okay, 21C is a cloud version of the database which is available in market. Now, I want to tell you little basics. Okay, before we switch into the SQL aspects. So generally, if at all you have to save the data, the servers will be hosted in a place called as data center. Data center is a place where everyone will put their servers. For example, we have Big Bazaar. Okay, in India, we have Big Bazaar. We have some other marts which have, okay, they cannot save their own data. So they want somebody else to save their data. So consulting companies like the TCS, Wipros, what they will do is they will take some data centers and they will host the data there. So the first concept is you need to understand what is a data center. So what is data center, Stravia? Data center is a place where servers will be hosted and databases will be hosted. So we need to understand that. So the first and foremost thing that I want all of you to understand is what is a data center. Data center is a place where your servers will be hosted. Every server will be hosted there and data will be accessed from that location. Okay. So what is happening is the maintenance of these data centers has become very costly. So people started looking out for a better opportunity. People started looking out for a better opportunity. So in doing so, they could come up with a solution called as cloud. So one person will be hosting the data from a remote location, whichever is cheap place, and you can put your data there. You can put your data there. You can use the way you want it. Suppose you want to use only limited portion of the hardware. You can use limited portion, and maybe during the month end where salary gets processed or other things will happen, you want to use huge amount of hardware resources. Then cloud will provide you a bigger amount of hardware resources. So what is happening with cloud is you can lift and shift your databases or your applications. Not only that, you can resize your hardware with a single click. Now you have eight cores, you want to increase it to 14 cores. You can immediately increase it to 14 cores. So lifting and hardware increase in size and decrease in size can be done in a single click. So people have started using cloud extensively. So even in our training sessions, what we will be doing is we will be working everything on cloud so that it becomes easy. All of us will be working on the same version and it will be a cloud. Okay, I will give you the details of how to create a cloud account. Once you create that cloud account, you can access all your SQL and PL/SQL from the cloud on the latest and greatest versions. Okay. So the next point that I want to tell you is, I will just recap certain things before I go to the next point. First is we understood what is a data center. So what is a data center, Deepak? Data center is a place where all your data will be hosted. What is the meaning of hosted? If you are putting something on a hardware, the technical term that we use, hosted. So all your data is put at one place and that place is called as data center. Okay, data center refers to the hardware aspects. Data center refers to the hardware aspects. The next thing that you understand is data center is an old age concept. Data center is an old age concept. Instead of putting it in a costly place, people started putting their data in a relatively cheap place where the hardware availability is high. So the concept of cloud got evolved. Okay, the advantage with cloud is the Shravya, you can resize your hardware as and when you need it. As and when you need it, you can resize your hardware. Okay, that is one of the advantage of cloud. And cloud comes with many other flexibilities. Okay. So I will go to SQL concepts after explaining some of the basic cloud concepts to you, because since we are going to work on 21C, which is a cloud component, I want you to have an understanding of cloud. Okay, cloud comes with three versions, Prashanti. Cloud comes with three versions. One is called as IaaS, second one is called as PaaS, third one is called SaaS. Okay, IaaS comes as infrastructure as a service, Prashanti. Okay, so Megan, so IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. So what the cloud provider will do is here, what the cloud provider is going to do here is Madhu, they will give you hardware. They will just give you hardware. So you have to configure everything. Okay, they will give you one server. On that server, you have to install your own operating system. You have to install your database. You have to install your applications. So the cloud provider, whether it is Amazon or Azure or Oracle, whoever it is, the cloud provider will give you only hardware. He is not going to give anything else. So such a mechanism is called as infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure means hardware plus networking plus IP addressing. These three is called as infrastructure. So in infrastructure as a service, Madhu, what is happening? The cloud provider will give you only hardware. You have to configure it. And you have to do whatever you want. That is called as infrastructure as a service. Second one is called as platform as a service. Platform as a service. In platform as a service, what will happen is the hardware provider will provide you the infrastructure, plus he will provide you the basic softwares that are needed. Like he will give you the operating system. He will give you the application software that you want. He can give you the database that you want. So these things he will give you. So this is called as platform as a service. He is giving you what is needed for you. So on top of that, you build whatever you want. The basics will be provided by the cloud provider. On top of basics, you can access what is that you want. Okay, that is your PaaS, platform as a service. Third thing is SaaS. SaaS stands for software as a service. In SaaS model, Raghava, what happens? In SaaS model, what happens is everything will be created by them only. So the application will be provided by the customer, the cloud provider. The database will be provided by the cloud provider. Hardware will be provided by the cloud provider. What is that you have to do? You have to just consume it. You have to just consume it. That means you create your ID, you start using it. The best example for that is Gmail. Your Yahoo mails, Gmails. These are softwares as a service. So what is that you are doing here? You are just creating your own accounts. And you are using it. So in cloud, there are three services that is provided. So what are the three services? Infrastructure as a service. In infrastructure as a service, what is happening? In infrastructure as a service, the cloud provider will provide you only the hardware. Only the hardware he will provide you, that is infrastructure, which is your servers plus networking plus IP addresses they will provide you. In case of PaaS, what is happening? Not only infrastructure, they will provide you the platform. That is, they will give you the operating system and required softwares. So you can customize the way you want. In case of SaaS, you cannot change anything. Okay, they will give you the software, they will give you the database pre-configured. Only thing is you can use them. If you look at your Gmail, you cannot create anything new. Whatever the features that are providing by them, you can use them. So that is called as a SaaS model. In SaaS model, you cannot change anything. Whatever it is there, you have to start using it. In PaaS model, okay, you can change your application and database the way you want. In infrastructure model, you can do whatever you want. Okay, only infrastructure is provided by them. I will just halt here for a moment. If you have any doubt, okay, I request you to ask. Let us spend some 2 to 3 minutes on clarifying the things. Any doubt, okay, please ask.
Sir, I have a doubt here.
Please go ahead, Raghava.
Sir, so the cloud, where is that cloud is actually residing, sir? So whether the cloud is residing in a data center or is it some other place where it resides, the cloud platform?
Cloud also resides in data center, Raghava. Cloud is also a data center, okay, which is being provided by a service provider.
Okay.
For example, Amazon is a service provider. Okay, Microsoft Cloud, they call it as, they are also service providers. Cloud is also a data center. Okay, generally these clouds are located in a place which is cost effective.
So that means it is residing physically provided by the service provider.
Yes, it is residing in a place where service provided has their data centers. For example, Amazon has their data center in Hyderabad. They have their data center in Bangalore and Mumbai. So these are the three places, okay, which we call it as locations, in cloud terminology.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Rita, you were planning to ask something.
Yes, I think you have already answered the question about the data center. So let me ask this question here. So for the servers, right? How many servers normally do they have, and also who have access to the servers? Is it just the DBAs or just the the people who have the root access.
Okay, so just to answer you, Rita, the term DBA is fading out. Okay, now they are called as cloud administrators. So cloud administrator is a role which takes care of the database and infrastructure both. So DBA is evolving into a next level where they are managing databases on cloud. Okay, so when I say cloud, a DBA will handle all the three types of databases, Rita. It is on IaaS, it is on PaaS, platform as a service, and on SaaS. So on three models, DBA has a role. So to distinguish them from a conventional terminology, DBAs are called as cloud engineers. Okay, and normal data analysis, they have started calling it as data engineering. Okay, since they are doing some mathematical analysis of the data, the conventional SQL-PLSQL role is getting evolved into a next level where the not only programming but analytical solutions will be provided, and this role is slowly getting merged with a role called as data engineering.
Okay.
So the conventional role of DBA is getting split into two ways, Rita. One I can say as data engineering, and the other one is cloud engineering.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Pradeep, anything from you, Pradeep? There is one thing in one question I am seeing in chat. Okay, will Oracle help me in learning data engineering concepts? Yes, certainly. Because wherever you go, okay, you will be dealing with the data. You will be dealing with the data. You will be presenting data in one format or other format, and SQL and PL/SQL are the basics. To capture data, to put data in a format, to present the data. All these things can happen only with SQL and PL/SQL. Any other tool or layers that are being used will be on top of SQL and PL/SQL skills that you acquire. I think the question was from Padma. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Anybody has any? So there is a question. Will SQL useful in networking field as well? My honest answer to this question is networking and SQL are completely different domains. Okay. So SQL might not be useful for somebody who is in a networking field. Rather, they should be more interested and more towards the infrastructure part of it. So the answer to is, okay, will SQL be useful in networking field? My answer is no. They are completely different domains, and probably this will be an additional skill for you, but not your core skill. Okay, so in the interest of time, okay, let me just take it forward. So what is the difference between an open source databases that we are using and OEM databases? Okay, so any database, Rita, which has a licensing cost is called as OEM database. Okay, Rita, let me just rephrase it. Any database or any software which has license cost is called as OEM databases. Okay, and otherwise, if there is no license cost, those are called as open source databases. Open source databases. Okay. OEM stands for Meghna. OEM stands for original equipment manufacturer. OEM stands for original equipment manufacturer. Okay. So in our case, Microsoft is an OEM, Oracle is an OEM, IBM is an OEM, HP is an OEM, because whatever the products they create, Rita, there is a license cost involved in it. There is a license cost involved in it. So all those people, all those companies, we call them as OEMs, or original equipment manufacturers. If you take other examples like PostgreSQL, MySQL, MongoDBs, they don't have any license cost. So they are called as open source databases. In case of open source databases, Ravia, you can change the source code also. Okay, you can download the source code, you can change the source code, you can do whatever you want. Okay, but there is no guarantee, there is no support for open source. But when it comes to Oracle or any OEM databases, there will be something called as support. If something happens, if something wrong happens, then the responsibility is on Oracle to protect the data. The responsibility will be on Microsoft to protect the data. So all your mission critical applications, it could be airlines, it could be banking, it could be hospitals. Generally, these things, okay, these things will be on your OEM databases. That means all those things will run on licensed databases. Am I clear, Rita?
Yes.
So OEMs, please remember this word for the rest of your life. OEM is something which is very important. So Oracle's, Microsoft, all these are called as OEMs because they sell the products on license fees. Okay, nothing comes from them free of cost. Whereas you have open sources like MySQLs, PostgreSQLs, these are open sources. Okay, so when you are talking about cloud, okay, Padma, cloud providers will give you option to have both OEM databases and open source. Both of them can be hosted in your cloud. So you can have your open source databases, Padma, as well as you can have your OEM databases. Both can be kept on your cloud. Okay, so let me just go to one step further. So original equipment manufacturer. Yes, Anil, you are correct. OEM stands for original equipment manufacturers. Okay, generally all IT companies, whoever are developing products, it could be your Oracles of the world or Microsoft of the world or IBMs of the world, HPs, HCLs, all these people are called as Anil OEMs. Okay, all of them are categorized in one section called as OEMs. Okay.
Krishna, apart from OEM, is there any like ODM is there, right? I think so. Is Apple company is using that, like?
Yes.
Yeah.
OEM stands for OEM is a term which is specifically to your database, Anil.
Okay.
Okay. All your database companies are called as OEMs.
Okay. What is?
All your database companies are called as OEMs, Anil.
Yeah.
Is that fine, Anil?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. Okay. So again, let me tell you a couple of other things. Okay. Padma, okay, you see small companies, Padma, like it could be a small shops near your house, and also you can see mid-sized companies, and you will see very big companies. To quote an example in an Indian context, okay, Reliance is a very big company. Okay, Reliance is a very big company, and Tatas are very big companies. Birlas are very big companies. Okay, all these big companies, Anil, we call them as enterprises. And what is an enterprise, Anil? Enterprise is a very big business. Okay, the enterprise is called as very big business, Anil. Okay, any big business that is running in any part of the world, we call it as an enterprise, Anil. Okay, so any database which can support such a big business, it is called as enterprise database, Anil. Are you getting the point, Anil?
Yes, good.
Any database which can support such a bigger business, it is called as enterprise database, Anil. Okay, so the enterprise databases which we see, for example, airlines. Okay, it will track the complete traffic control system of the all the airways. Okay, hospitals, you have very big chains of hospitals. Okay, all these comes under your enterprise category, and the biggest and stable enterprise database is Oracle. Okay, at this point in world, I can say that Oracle is the biggest and stable database supporting enterprise business. So my intention of introducing is what is enterprise database, what is enterprise business. You should understand that. Okay, so what is an enterprise database? A database which can support huge volume of data and complex transactions. It is called as enterprise database. One of the example of enterprise database is your Oracle database. Rita, am I clear, Rita? Stavia?
Yes, yes, it's very clear.
Stavia?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so big database, okay, it will be in terabytes of size. Okay, such databases can be easily supported by Oracle. So to extract data from such big databases, big databases, we use something called as SQL as a language. Okay, SQL stands, when you pronounce it, you should pronounce it as SQL. When you read it, SQL, but when you are writing it is SQL. Okay, structured query language. What is the meaning of query, Padma? The meaning of query is, Padma, to question. So what is that you are questioning, Padma? You are questioning your database. So SQL is questioning your database to get output in a particular format. SQL is to question a database to get result in particular format. So SQL is a single term, okay, which is used across the industry to question something to get the result from a database, to question the things from database. Pradeep, is it clear, Pradeep? Pradeep, Prashanti? Okay. Yeah, Prashanti, it's clear. Okay, Prashanti. Thanks, Amma. So here we need to understand how to question the database, what to question the database, and once we get the data, what should be our interpretation from that. Okay. So data typically in a database gets saved in a format called as tables. So a table is a combination of rows and columns. A table is a combination of rows and columns where we save the data. Okay. A table can be of any size. Okay. The size of the table can go into terabytes, or it can be more than that. Okay. So how do we handle this table? How do we create this table? So what is the basis for creating this table? Okay. That is called as requirement gathering, Rita. So we should gather the requirement. From our end customer, convert that requirement into a database language. For example, if I have to say, Padma, one customer wants to capture his employee details. So immediately Padma will tell, okay, if he wants to capture the employee details, maybe he is willing to capture the first name of the employee, the last name of the employee, address of the employee, which department he is working. So some basic information in some format he wants to capture. So what Padma will go and do is, Padma will create a table covering all these aspects. Though this table can be put in her personal laptop, or this can be hosted in a cloud. What is the difference between creating and putting the table in host versus putting it in cloud? If she puts the table in her own laptop, it can be accessed by Padma only. But if it is being put in a cloud, even Meghna can access it, Stavia can access, Pradeep can access, everybody can access it. Okay. The advantage of having something in cloud is accessing of the things will become easy for us. Okay. So the first and foremost thing that we will be doing is we'll be understanding the business requirements, and those business requirements, whatever we get from the client. Okay. We will try to translate that into a database language, into a database format in the form of tables. So we'll be learning how to create tables. And for every table, okay, there will be some constraints. When I say constraints, we want to put some restrictions. For example, somebody's age is there. Age cannot be 500 years or 1000 years or so. So we want to put a cap, okay, that age should not exceed, for example, 100 years. So we can put some restrictions on the table. Such type of restrictions on the table are called as constraints. So we create tables. On top of table, we'll create constraints, so that we will define the behavior of the data using the constraints. Then on top of that constraints, we will start inserting the data into the database. We'll start inserting the data into the database. So this insertion of data into database, Rita, can happen in two ways, either from the backend or using the application So, I mean, we have a couple of folks from BTech background. I just want to let them explain. So you can insert the data directly from the backend, or 99% of the time it gets inserted from your applications. For example, you want to go and book a ticket from your IRCTC, Indian Railways Reservation System. You go to an application, you fill your details there, say submit. So what will happen, Padma, once you submit, the data will go and sit in your database. So application is the means for us to input the data. Application is the means for us to input the data. So once you input the data, it goes and sits in your database. This application can be developed using multiple languages. Okay. Application gets developed in Java. Application gets developed in .NET. Application gets developed in PHP. There are many programming languages which are available to create the application. Once that application is developed, okay, it is used as an interface to input the data. Once you input the data, what happens is this data goes and sits in your database. So while designing, what is the first layer that you have to design data? While designing any solution, the first layer that you have to design is your database. Once your database is designed, the developers, the programmers, .NET programmer or Java programmer, they can build their logic on the database that you have provided them. Is it clear, Padma? Padma, Deepak, Prashanti, is it clear, Amma, or you want anything here?
Could you come again, sir? I just missed it.
Padma, you are not audible. Yeah.
Could you come again, sir? I missed it at the last. What did you...
Padma, your voice is not clear.
Sir, could you come again? What did you say in the last statement? So I couldn't hear you properly.
Sure. Let me repeat that, Padma. Okay. What is that we were discussing is we create tables to save the data. We create tables to store or save the data. We create tables. Okay. So, but how to input data into these tables? So data goes into your tables from an application. Application is generally, I mean, like your IRCTC screen. Okay, what you will do, you will go and log in and you will give your data. And when you say submit or continue or save, what happens? The data goes and sits in your database. So ultimately, whatever process happens in the front end, the last step is it has to come and sit in your database. So here the point is, Padma, we have something called as application. This application development happens using either .NET or Java or PHP, React.js, Node.js. There are 100 different programming languages using which you can develop your application. Okay. Once the application is developed, okay, you input your data into your application. And what happens is this data goes and sits in your database. Okay. So application is the place from where data comes, and where is the data getting saved? All your data gets saved in your database. Data gets saved in your database. Is it clear, Padma?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Good. So to summarize, okay, let us understand certain things, Amma, before we proceed further. To summarize, okay, So we'll be learning our SQL on a cloud environment. We'll be creating a cloud account. Okay, I will show you how to create a cloud account. It is very easy. So we'll be creating everything on cloud and we'll be working on cloud. Okay. So we understood, okay, what is a data center? Data center is a place where your data will be hosted. So data center has become an outdated technology. Now everything is cloud. Now everything is a cloud. Okay. We understood what is cloud. Okay. Who are the major cloud providers? Amazon is one of the major cloud provider. Microsoft is there. Okay. They call it as Azure, and Google is there. They call it as GCP, and Oracle is there. Okay. These are the major cloud providers. In cloud, we have three ways of hosting. One is called as IaaS, which is called as infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service, where will be provided only with the hardware. Where will be provided only with the hardware. The second one is called as PaaS, platform as a service, Narendra. In platform as a service, okay, we'll get operating system and other softwares. The third one is called as SaaS. The third one is called as SaaS, software as a service. So we cannot customize it. Whatever they are giving, we will use it. Okay, these are the three things that we have understood. We have understood what is an OEM, in terms of database, original equipment manufacturer, okay, which stands for companies which are producing databases, We have understood that. The next thing that we have tried to understand is what is a conventional database and what is a unconventional database. Okay. So in case of structured database or unstructured database, we call it as structured database. We use SQL. For unstructured databases like your Facebook chats, like your WhatsApp chats, we use something called as NoSQL databases. These NoSQL databases are called as big data. Big data. We have seen that. Also, what is that we have seen, Rita? We have seen what is an enterprise database. What is an enterprise? What is an enterprise database? We have seen the difference between an OEM databases and open source databases. For open source databases, Narendra, there will not be any support. Okay. If there is any problem, you have to solve it yourself. It is like buying a good without guarantee. Whereas with OEM databases, if you have any support, okay, the respective companies, it could be Oracle or Microsoft, they will provide you the support until your issue is resolved. Okay. That is the advantage of going with OEM databases. Then we have seen, if at all we have to save data, we have to take the business requirements and we have to create the tables. So how to create the tables? We can create tables in your database. Okay. Then we have seen what is structured query language, SQL. Okay. Structured, you pronounce it as SQL. Query means questioning a database. So we can question database in many ways. SQL is one of the easiest approach. Okay. And I want to tell you one other thing. Which is very, very important. Whatever you are talking about in terms of Oracle as a database is developed in C language. Oracle database is completely written and developed in C language. So whatever the rules which are applicable in your C language, the same rules will be applicable in Oracle also. Since Oracle is something which is completely written in C language, okay. So whatever the rules which are applicable in C language, still they hold good in your Oracle. Okay. So as we discuss further, we'll be understanding what it is. So this is what I have for you for today. Okay. Tomorrow, what I will do is I will just help you to create your own cloud accounts. So once you create your own cloud accounts, you can start. Okay. There is one question in a group asking for, could you tell me the difference between Microsoft SQL and Oracle SQL? Okay. It is just like, okay, you are buying, it is the difference between two different cars. Okay. One is produced by a company called Microsoft. The other is produced by a company called Oracle. Okay. Like to tell you honestly, okay, all SQLs that you're talking about, it could be Microsoft SQL or it could be Oracle SQL or IBM SQL. 80% of things will be same. Like Rita, you have cars, you have 3 different cars, Rita. 80% of the things will be same in all the three cars. The way you drive, okay, the gauge system, everything will be same. Only difference will be 10 to 20% Rita. So in the same way, all databases, you talk about Microsoft database or Oracle database or IBM database, their nature and behavior will be same, Padma. Their nature and behavior will be same. Only difference is there will be a syntactical difference. There will be a syntactical difference between these databases. Like in case of one car, you will put the gate to the front side. In case of other car, you can put it back ways. The same will be the difference, but conceptually and implementation wise, all SQLs, whether it is a Microsoft SQL, a PostgreSQL or Oracle SQL, 80 to 85% they will be same, Padma. Okay. Once, I mean, if you are from a Microsoft SQL background, it will be too easy for you to understand because only syntax change, the application of it, the logic and the output will more or less remain the same, Padma. More or less, they will remain the same. Okay. So tomorrow I will show you how to create your cloud accounts. Okay. I will share my screen and I will show you how to create cloud accounts and what are the advantages of these cloud accounts and what are the flexibilities that it gives to us. And I will show you how to create tables, how to do basic queries and all that stuff. I will show you tomorrow. Okay, let us, today we had some issues. I mean, there were issues from my side, okay, in connecting, okay, to the Zoom. But now that, okay, I received the login credentials, I will be able to connect on time tomorrow. So let us connect tomorrow and continue further by exploring ourselves to cloud. And whatever I am going to discuss with you, probably this should help you in building your career and also in stabilizing your careers. Okay. Thanks all for your time and listening to me. Good day ahead of you.
And here, which cloud we are using here?
We are going to use Oracle Cloud. We are using Oracle Cloud.
Oracle Cloud. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
I have a question. Quick one before we go.
Yes, Rita, please go ahead.
Yeah, so at the end of this class, do you recommend to take an exams, like any certification for this particular course, or it doesn't matter?
Certification courses are there which will help you certainly. Okay. So I will share you. I will share you the certification code. Okay.
All right.
I have the sample papers with me, which will help you to clear the exam easily.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Any certification, Rita, will give a valuation to the resume that you will carry.
Okay. Yeah, because I know most companies require, I mean, if you want to get into Oracle like database, most people require get a little bit of certification to for your journey. So yeah.
The moment you get certified, okay, it is like, okay, somebody has endorsed you that, okay, Rita has following skills. Madhu, anything from your side, Madhu? Fayaz, if you are good, I think we can conclude and probably we can connect back tomorrow. We can connect back tomorrow and let's discuss more things. Okay, a lot of interesting stuff will be available. I want all of you to just follow and execute the things. Okay, thanks for your time. Bye for now.
Bye, sir.
Bye.